LaDuc Trading's biggest sale of the year. Take advantage of our limited time Black Friday offer. Use a special coupon code at the checkout.
Guys, welcome back. Hope you had a great weekend. I don't really expect a lot of momentum this week, but as you can see, we're kind of holding on to this pink trend line I mentioned last week, and you can see we're still holding above the 5,900 level that is holding as key support. So as long as we're holding above that, our target is still pushing into that next fib level up into 6,100, 6,155, at which point we should watch and see whether fib level provides some resistance, given that we're kind of pushing above the top of this long-term channel going down all the way to 2008 crash is when this channel started to form. And you can see every time we've broken above this channel, we've relatively come back down to the mean. So that is what we're watching for. Only time you will even get a confirmation for a short if this 5,900 breaks. You can see that's not the case. And again, the reason for that is broad-based momentum across all sectors. And we also know that QQQ is kind of lagging the broader market. So again, as discussed last week, as long as QQQ holds over 504, we're still bullish into that 529, 530 area. And only if we break under 505 will we be bearish to 484 and 470. If not, the uptrend of the market is still holding. You can see similarly, even if we go to the chart of IWM, we spoke last week how this 225 had to hold. As long as it holds, we're going to push into the upper fib level at 265. No changes, but again, it is gapping up. So if it sells off to fill the gap before it continues higher, don't be surprised. That's part of normal market movement. But yeah, you can see this is a channel from Jan of 2024. So we are trying to break out of a whole year of consolidation. So as long as we, kind of break out of this channel, we should be pushing into the upper quadrant at 260. So with that, keeping that in mind, we're looking at the dollar. Yeah, we keep thinking the dollar is going to reject this 107, but it doesn't. But again, it's not really getting over it either. We're just kind of going sideways here. So I still expect that as long as we stay sideways on the dollar, that should give the market enough momentum to kind of push into the fifth leg higher. Kind of what I'm looking for on QQQ. You can see this is the channel, and if I zoom in, I'm watching for us to kind of push into that 550 area before we actually kind of have some topping pattern. So yeah, I do think we will relatively stay range bound. I don't expect too much momentum this week, but yeah, bigger picture, this is still my thought process. In the yields, you can see we had a massive rejection at 4.5%. We're getting back below the trend line. So as long as the yields continue to reject, that is really good for IWM and growth stocks. So you can kind of see that why growth is kind of having that upward momentum. So yeah, let's look at the wicks again for clues. And you can see here, boom, we could not get over 17.5, which gave market momentum to push higher. And I still very much any bounce on VIX to get rejected and come down into the 10 level. So not much has changed. So with that being said, let's look at this week's watch list. I have Meta to begin with. And again, for Meta to play out, again, I do want to let you know that maybe not this week, but next week, definitely. I do think Meta is going to, again, continue its momentum higher. I do think it's forming some kind of ending diagonal in a wave 5. So as long as we stay above 540, I still think that Meta probably pushes into 620, 630. And yeah, this is the channel I'm looking for. So yeah, as long as we hold the channel, I still continue to expect us to chop higher. I know I mentioned Amazon last week, but you can see we stayed sideways, but the same thing kind of holds. As long as we stay over 195, 200, Amazon again, maybe not this week, but next week probably moves into 212, 220 higher. LLY, we pushed down. We had that oversold bounce, and now again, it's trying to break down. You can see this is the sideways support on LLY, 745. So if we break 745, we know that Eli Lilly has a gap all the way down to 600. So that is still the target. I'm looking for it to come down and fill this gap at 666 on Eli Lilly. The next one I have is Etsy. I did mention this, but it didn't have the breakout. But now again, it's trying to have a breakout. So you could see here that I'm trying to get over this 55 level on Etsy to kind of push into the higher boundary at 60, 66. But again, it needs to follow through. Yield selling off is a good start. You can see that we have been sideways for, I would say, we have been sideways since July. So if we can break over this 56 level in Etsy, then we'll be able to push into this gap fill at 68. So keep an eye. It should. That's a nice $13 move. That's 22% on the stock. So yeah, that's why I think see, once we break out, it will make a nice explosive squeeze to the upside. And last but not the least, I don't think coin is done yet. Again, whatever I say for this week, you can use it for next week as well. So I don't think coin is done yet. I do see that it is weak this morning. I can see it come down to retest this 260 area, but I don't think it breaks that. I think this is a way for consolidation before you can see here. I zoom out, this is the channel for coin, and we did bounce off the bottom of the channel, so I very much expect us to push into 425 once we're done with this consolidation. So yeah, that's all I have for this week. I hope you have a great week. Happy Thanksgiving.
Join Chase to trade with Rithika and other experts. Subscribe to LaDuc Trading YouTube channel for more Wolf's weekly wave list videos and other content.